Carlos, naremo a musu numa Edley. Musu ponta. Anami tiki batumura Garifuna Carlos.
So now, right, the style of the arrangements, man, is just crazy. Like, and what keyboards were you guys using to create these arrangements?
From Legacy or Garifuna Kids?
Legacy.
With Legacy, we had my dad had bought me he gave me his M1.
Okay.
So that was our first keyboard.
Oh wow.
The M1.
Okay.
We had Tulio Laboriel was one of the original members of Legacy as well.
Okay. Oh wow.
So Tulio Laboriel took us to a guy. I forgot where this guy was from. Oddly, his name is Oddly.
Okay.
I think Oddly was Jamaican or Trinidadian. He lived in Manhattan, and he was one of the first investors.
Okay.
As well in Legacy.
Oh wow.
And he bought us our drum machine, the R8 Mark II.
The Mark II. Yep.
And he bought us the Korg X3.
Wow.
So there we had our two keyboards.
Wow.
Okay. And that's what we was using.
Interesting.
At that time.
Now, I'm sure you were into layering sounds and just creating your own thing, or were you using stock sounds that were already?
No, we had stock. We used stock sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, but we used weird stuff, different stuff.
Yeah.
And that was implemented between Eddie and myself. We always wanted to do something different.
Okay.
Eddie's inspiration for his arrangements were like rock music.
Okay.
We used to Eddie and I listened to everything, bro. We used to listen to genres that people wouldn't imagine that we listened to.
Yeah.
So so his influence is totally different from mine.
Wow. Okay.
Totally different, but we both did a lot of things out the box.
Okay.
We never stuck into doing things the same thing.
Yeah.
And we used to do some weird stuff and it just sound. And we used to flow.
Yeah.
We used to arrange songs in one rehearsal.
Wow.
I remember Eddie bought the song Riri La La Mi Mi Mama. Eddie wrote that's Eddie's song.
Okay.
So when he brings it, it's just me and him in my basement. Before the band gets there, so I'm starting to do the studio, do the arrange. He brings the first melody. That's his.
Okay.
My idea is the next melody. That's Eddie.
Okay.
After that, that's all as me.
Bro.
I did the rest of it, and then we decided let's give that song to Carlos.
Oh wow.
So that's why Carlos sings that song.
Oh.
And that's Carlos' identity now.
Yes.
Everybody hear that song, they know, they look at Carlos.
Exactly.
We gave him that song to sing.
Wow.
But that's Eddie's lyrics. I think that's the whole song. I'm not so sure.
Okay.
But Eddie was the one that brought the song to the group.
Okay.
So that's how we used to flow. One rehearsal, you sing it, and I'm starting. All right, the melody's gonna come in right there. All right, cool. I come up with a melody real quick, and it's always been that way. From Garifuna Kids to Legacy, we already had our mechanism on how we did, and I used to flow real quick.
Oh wow.
Ideas would just flow out of nowhere.
Okay.
Like on the Waterloo album. Honduras, all right, that's a warm up.
Okay.
That's a piano warm up. And I just slowed it down.
Oh, okay.
And then it's just warm up.
Oh wow.
And I just slowed it down and put it in a punta.
Yo.
So it's different, different silly stuff
genius,
like that. And
genius. Yeah. All right, so on Unfinished Business, we still on Unfinished Business. So what made you, right, on Unfinished Business, what made you just be this Rebane guy for a song? Because when I started paying attention more to music, I feel like, because by the time I started paying attention to more, you were already in Casabe and doing other things or whatever. So when I travel back now and I hear stuff like, who made that house? And then I seen you do that live on the video also. And I'm just like, yo, it was crazy because you didn't, you weren't showing off with it. You didn't come to the front. You was right by your keyboard because it looked like you had a job to do, but you just sang this Rebane real quick. How did that come about, and how was it like?
Well, actually, and what you said about staying at the keyboard, you see, because one of our things always been, there's no need for us to show off.
Yeah.
Even though we wanted people to know what we did and our talent, we weren't show-offs.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have to go to the front and do all that, and that wasn't my personality anyway.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there wasn't no need for that.
Wow.
That came about when we went to Belize.
Okay.
That's a Belizean Ravane to say.
Okay. Okay.
Chant.
Oh
That's a
wow.
Belizean chant.
Okay.
So that's why I sing it with that accent. Houdin Nutty House, because that's Korea. That's the the Belizean.
Matter of fact, now that you said that, I remember the original Rebane, and I think the answer to it is something vulgar.
Yeah.
So we're not even gonna get into that, but I heard that.
That's why we changed it.
Okay. Okay.
And that one, I think we heard it with Sounds in Corp, or even with Uguru, I think it was.
Okay.
Oh no. I don't know if it's Mind Me. Mind Me is the one that created that.
Okay.
Mind Me's a vulgar singer.
Yeah.
So,
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Mind Me is the one that did that. So obviously Legacy, our first performance was in Belize.
Yeah.
And we were very loved in Belize from Garifuna kids. So they loved us. And they loved the group and they loved us as individuals.
Oh wow.
Myself, Coco, Pequeño, Eddie, Manuel, Christian.
Yeah.
Yo, they loved us in Belize.
Wow.
Even Linky. But Linky didn't have too much exposure in Belize.
Okay.
But the rest of us, Joe, they loved us. It was incredible.
Wow.
So when we became Legacy, it was even more love and support.
Yeah.
And that's where we got it from. So we did that first performance we did. We played with another group, local group in Belize. I don't recall which one it was. I think it was Uguro.
Okay.
And they did that. So when we came back to the U.S., I started doing it.
Okay.
So we just put it in the song.
Oh wow.
And being that Dion was with us, so it's like it was like it's legit because we have a Belizean here with us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he was part of that, those people. So it wasn't really much of a problem. Like we stealing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So the Belizeans supported. They loved it. So
interesting.
so I was the one that sung it because it stuck to me. When I heard, I was like, yo, that's fat. That's nice. So it just kept sticking to me, and I kept singing it.
Okay.
I just kept saying it, even off stage. I just kept screaming it out.
Yeah.
So when we did the song, I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I think Eddie told me, and then I just did it.
Yeah. Yo, and it was nice too. It had a nice intro. Like it had that bang, 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 bang. It's like that's beautiful. Yeah. Another arrangement that stands out to me is the last song, Lubidu.
Oh, Lubidu, yeah.
The way how it starts, that sax jam you do.
Yeah.
So we could get into that. That that comes from what was the inspiration behind that?
It's just the moment.
The moment, right?
The atmosphere that me and Eddie were in, because I did that.
Okay.
Eddie brought the song, and I did that.
Okay.
So he's singing it. I'm playing along with him, and I'm starting to flow. Starting to do what I had to do.
What about same thing?
It's like it was just I'm listening to everything and just my fingers start flowing.
Yeah. The reason why I asked that is because us musicians have this thing in our mind that when we hear you do something, we try to relate it to everything else that you have done. But that's something that was totally brand new. It's just like, yo, Big June he's showing us who he is with this production.
It's really I'm a man of God.
Yeah.
A lot of people might know or might not know I'm a pastor now. And the word says that God knows us and we've chosen even before we were in our mother's womb.
Wow.
And I really think that God put that talent in me. Obviously, ultimately to serve Him and to praise His name, which I do now.
Wow.
But He blessed me with that talent to be able to flow that way.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still do it. People look for me. For example, Casabe. I've been out of Casabe since 2004.
Wow.
And I'm still their producer.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because they want that sound. They want that style. So those are things that's God's doing. I mean, it doesn't get old. Even though there's tons of people that do those kind of things. But I guess I can't say I invented it because where we got that from is from Bo. From Milo.
Oh,
we got that from Milo. So we even bought the same piano he used so we could have the same sound.
Oh, wow.
It was a Yamaha something.
Okay.
So that's where we got that from, but we just took it to a different level.
Okay.
And I wasn't even the first one to do that inside the group. It was Linky.
Oh, okay.
It was Linky with Magunu Bo. That's Linky.
The jams and stuff like that.
That's Linky. But then when I start doing it, I just take it to a different level.
Okay.
And I just flow different. And while I'm arranging the song, I just get into dance mode, like I'm the dancer.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and now to close the Garifuna legacy topic. So, why did you leave Garifuna legacy?
When in '96, my first son was born,
Okay.
Shamari, which a lot of people already know him in New York
Yeah.
because he's kind of, I guess I can't he's into music.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a musician, but he's into music.
Yeah.
And everybody knows him because he's my son.
Yeah.
And, he's around. He's in the ambient.
Exactly.
And his uncle is Peke as well. So, so he's a musician kid. So everybody knows him.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, I needed to make ends meet.
Yeah.
I needed to make ends meet, but at the same time, I was afraid to leave the band and to tell the guys that I was gonna leave.
Yeah.
I didn't give them an opportunity to help me find a solution.
Wow.
I didn't give Eddie, which was my best friend and my closest friend, the benefit of the doubt to tell him about it. I didn't even tell him anything. I don't remember how I even told them. I don't recall. But it turned into a big problem.
Wow.
It turned into I think over a 5-year fight.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I did leave and I took my instruments.
Okay.
Because the bass and the piano was mine. And those were gifts from my father.
Yeah.
Garifuna already broke up. And those were the instruments that my dad kept for himself.
Yeah.
And he handed it down to me. So they had a very sentimental value and I wasn't going to leave them there.
Yeah.
So I took my instruments with me. And it wasn't intended to make them bad.
Yeah, of course not.
Actually, the bass I didn't take. They kept the bass.
Oh, wow.
The piano I took back, and the reason how I got the piano because the piano had gotten messed up, and Milo was fixing it because Milo was the M1 king.
Okay. Okay.
So he was fixing it, and I went to his house to pick it up before they got there.
Oh, wow.
And that's how I got my piano back. And then everything started. Me and Peke started not fighting, but we started going against each other.
Wow.
The relationship went bad between Eddie and myself. Coco, which is my blood, wanted to. They all wanted to fight. Everything was a fight.
For real?
Yeah, it was very bad.
Wow.
It was very bad. I was very hurt because they reacted that way. But I also realized that I caused that reaction in up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And obviously the maturity level of all of us wasn't where it's at now, you know. So I don't hold any animosity, any resentment.
Yeah.
We all talk anyway. We all cool. And we ask for forgiveness. We ask each other for forgiveness for what happened.
Wow.
They even went and asked my mother for forgiveness because I left Legacy. Like I said, because I needed to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call from San Francisco, from Roman,
Okay.
which is the owner of Garifuna Boyz.
Yes.
With Christian and Manuel, which Christian and Manuel are ex-Garifuna kids.
Yes.
So when we split, Christian and Manuel decided we're going to do something different. So they moved to San Francisco.
Okay.
So what happens is that the noise, he makes me the offer, and I needed the money. I needed to, maintain my son and do something for myself.
Yep.
I think I was overloaded with work for Legacy as well, doing everything. And I was just tired, I think.
No, that makes sense because when we go back to everything you were saying, the loading the equipment, then dropping off those that y'all all lived in Brooklyn, dropping everybody off. So by that time, understandable.
Yeah, so but I guess it was something that they didn't understand or they didn't care about.
Yeah.
They just wanted me there. And I think they depended too much on me. I think if my load was distributed evenly, they probably wouldn't have looked at, oh man, we losing him.
Yeah, exactly.
We losing one of our main guys. And, they probably wouldn't have felt it that way.
Yeah.
Because I didn't try to harm them. I didn't leave to make them to hurt them.
Yeah.
I left because it was a personal reason.
Yes.
Even though I could have found a job locally, but I wanted something different.
Yeah.
I wanted something different. And I was already, quote unquote, a part of Garifuna Boyz because when they started, they flew me to San Francisco to play with them for that first performance
Oh wow.
to help them out.
Wow.
So I was the bass player for that performance. They just hired me for that performance,
Okay.
and I went back to New York.
Wow.
So they time later they called me back and it was like, we offer you this. You don't have to work. Just take care of the band. We're gonna give you everything. We're gonna give you your car. You're gonna give you a place to live. If you want to work daytime, you can work if you want. And but you're gonna be in charge of the band.
Wow.
And you're gonna be a business partner. So I was like, okay, cool. They sent my ticket and I left.
Wow.
We were in San Francisco. A lot of things didn't go. It went good, but musically, we had a lot of challenges.
Okay.
But we were struggling. We tried to do our best while we were there.
When you say you came back to New York, I was gonna ask you about that because I seen the Amistad Garifuna performance with Nino, the original Amistad crew, and you were there on like the second keyboard, playing with Linky and Liso. So I'm just like, okay, this is still like 99, early 2000. So I'm just like, did he go to California and come back? Because I know he was doing Garifuna Boyz and he even did an album with them. And,
At that time, I was already a part of Casabe.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the time you came to the Bronx to perform with Nino and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been a part of Casabe since '97.
Oh, wow.
The problem is the way the things worked out is that when I was hired for Casabe, I was with Garifuna Boyz in LA.
Okay.
So Casabe first tour, their first performance was in LA.
Oh, wow.
And Mario Cotto already knew me from Garifuna Kids. And for him, he placed his eyes on me since I was in Garifuna Kids.
Oh, wow.
So when he saw me in LA with Garifuna Boyz, he was like, yo, I need an engineer for the group to go on tour.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going. Because on Casabe's performance in LA, they played Mano Mano with Garifuna Boyz.
Okay.
We played together. So he was like, okay, cool. We're going to San Francisco tomorrow. I'm going to pay you such and such and whatever. So I was like, yo, guys, Mario offered me to go on tour with them. The band is not doing much. You take advantage of this money.
Yep.
And I'm going to get this cash. So I went on tour with them. So I did the tour finished. I went back to LA, continuing Garifuna Boyz. I think that's when we finished the album and we released the album.
Okay.
Casabe came on the next tour, and he called me back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was after that. On that tour, I didn't go back to LA. I told him, I called him, I was like, yo, I'm going to Honduras with Casabe.
Okay.
But before I went to Honduras, I asked for permission to go back to New York to say bye to my mother.
Oh, wow.
So at that time in New York, I used it to say bye to my mother, but also to work on some songs for my album.
Okay.
So that's why I was playing with Amistad during that time.
Okay.
Because I did 2 of my songs in my album. I did it with Linky.
Oh, okay.
That's
And
why
this
Nino
is-
comes out on the album.
And this is your solo album,
Yeah,
the green cover.
Yeah, that's
okay.
why Maestro Amilcar comes out on the album. That's why all of them, because I was working on Amistad album with them, and we did 2 songs for myself as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yo, that's what's up. For you and Linky to still have that
Yeah.
chemistry and for it not to sound like
yeah.
it's, what is this?
Yeah, we always been
Yeah.
connected, man. To this
Wow.
day, he still works on my albums with me. I mix his Mi Gente, the one that came out.
Yeah.
I mixed that whole Mi Gente Mi Cultura. I mixed that album here.
Wow.
He's working on some stuff for Poeta, my
Okay.
nephew. I mixed that here as well. So me and Linky stay working.
Interesting.
So that's how I left Legacy and ended up with
Okay.
Garifuna Boyz.
So when you left Legacy, right, and I've been meant to ask you this question, what was your age? How old were you?
When I left Legacy, I was I left in 97, so I was 17.
17.
Yeah.
Look at that, people. All these stories y'all hearing, he was just in between 15,
Yeah.
16 to 17 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. So now, how was it like, being a part of Garifuna Boyz after leaving Legacy, and not just musically, but the pressure, the mind, because you know where you come from at the time, and when we hear Garifuna Boyz album, it's like you were the only experienced one there. It's like you had to do what you can with those that were put to you.
It was tough. It was very saddening. I went through a lot of sad times because I think at that time Legacy's second album came out,
The Dynasty.
Dynasty, and that was a killer album.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I don't have that kind of power here, that manpower, to make Garifuna Boyz music sound that way.
Wow.
Because I can't play all of that.
Yeah.
I can't make it sound like that by myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's Legacy album is literally the whole band playing.
Yeah.
So with Garifuna Boyz, it was just me playing pianos, playing bass, doing vocals, chorus, and singing songs,
Yeah.
and playing congas, and just a Belizean playing the garão.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm literally a one man band.
Yeah, for real.
You know, so how good can an album come out? I mean, I'm but so good as a musician.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I'm bad, but one person doing everything doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
You need the different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like when you season in meat and when you're gonna cook,
Yeah.
you don't just put one seasoning. You spice it up. You do different things.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing when you're doing music. You know, that you have to play.
Yeah.
What makes the band sound so powerful is all this great talent that you have within the band.
Exactly.
So I didn't have that because Manuel never left San Francisco. When we started recording Garifuna Boyz album, we were in LA.
Okay.
We moved the band to LA to have more activity. So it was just me, the singer Papi, the Belizean guy, Ralph. Roman wasn't even around.
Okay.
And I sang all the Christian songs. So Christian was the original singer.
Oh.
So those were
okay.
his songs, and I sang all his songs.
Oh wow.
And Papi brung his songs. I arranged everything, and it was just me playing everything.
Wow.
There were no other musicians. I think when Manuel came down to LA, I let him record piano on 1 or 2 songs.
Okay. Okay.
But I literally did all the chorus. I sang most of it.
Yeah.
Played all the bass and all the congas.
Oh wow.
So, and then I mixed everything, and then I did everything, you know. So I was like, man, and it's not to put the band down, but
Yeah.
to me, that's one of my worst jobs ever.
Garifuna Boyz.
The production, that
Okay.
production. I mean, they could be. I think if I had other musicians to record with me, it would have sounded better. But to
Yeah.
me, that's that's my worst work.
Yeah.
Even singing. I was like, why I sound like that? Why I'm
Yeah.
singing like that?
Yeah.
Because it's not my songs. They weren't
Yeah.
for me. They were designed for someone else to sing, you know. So, you know, all those things came into effect, and you know, so.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that Revane, papa, pula batarigi, that
Yeah, yeah.
yo, that Revane go hard, bro. Like
Yeah.
how y'all go from minor to major,
Yeah, yeah.
that was fire. I like number 4 too. Bugata tina nuguchuno.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my piece song.
Okay.
The Ron is mine. I did that.
Oh, okay.
I invented. I wrote that, but
Okay. It's a cool album. It's cool.
yeah, a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, you like that? You know, but you know, it's a blessing. You know, I guess there's people. You know, people like different things. You know. And,
Yeah.
And I thank God that I've never heard, like, man, that album is trash.
Yeah.
It was a blessing. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that to this day. I say to me, that's my worst work.
Yeah.
Just like you know, you've produced stuff and you have, this is my best work. This is my worst work. So to me, and it's not to, like I said, it's not to put down the band. But
Yeah.
that's the way I feel about it.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so now, right, we gonna fast forward a lot now to now your debut album, your solo album. I know you just spoke a little bit about it, but we're about to get more into details. What made you just fully go that route? Like, yo, you know what? I want to do my own album and name it Mi Punta.
The thing about the album is that what pushed me to do the album was Dennis Roches.
Oh, okay.
Because I was already in Honduras with Casabe.
Okay.
I mean, he pushed me like, go to do the album.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not really a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the album because I had the ability to do it.
Okay.
But I'm not a singer. I've sang, but I'm not a singer. You
Yeah.
know, so he even gave me most of the songs.
Oh, wow.
He got one of his uncles from Sarawena, and he recorded him singing all these songs.
Oh, wow.
So he gave me the tape, so I'll just listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like this one. I'm gonna use this one. I like
Okay.
this one. I'm gonna use this one. And he sent his cousin Kelly
Okay.
to my house every day. He's
Wow.
like, Kelly, you at Big June's position, you at disposición de él. Whatever he says, whatever days you got, he tells you to go.
Yeah.
So I used to play with Casabe on the weekend, and then Monday when I get home, I was living in La Lima, in my house in La Lima. Kelly would show up in the afternoon, and he would sing me the songs, and I start doing the arrangements.
Okay.
So all the scratch vocals were Kelly.
Okay.
And then I did my vocals in Tegucigalpa, in the studio in Tegucigalpa, because the Roaches were producing an album over there.
Oh wow.
And they had some extra studio time. And they took me to record my vocals over there.
Okay.
But when I had the whole album, I was like, something's missing on this album. Something is missing. So I wasn't happy with it.
Wow.
And I had to come back to the U.S. on the tour with Casabe. And I asked for some extra time.
Yeah.
So Casabe was on tour, but I was in New York.
Okay.
And that's when I did the 2 songs with Amistad, and I was there for, I think, 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
and I was like, this is what I needed.
Wow.
This was what was missing. So that's when I went to Jake. I mixed those 2 songs at Jake, and I mixed the rest of the songs in Miami.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Interesting.
And then I just mastered the whole thing together.
Okay. And how was the success of that? Did you ever get to perform those songs, or was it just?
We were gonna do a group with Maricoto.
Oh, okay.
That's why we put Big Junior and Garifuna Kings.
Yeah.
Because he was gonna make me my own group.
Oh wow.
But I never ambitioned that because I never saw myself as a front man. You know?
Okay.
I'm always I'm back. You know, in the cut. I'm in the back.
Exactly.
I don't have that in me to be in the front like that. Even when I was in Casabe, I'm the face of Casabe along with Alex, Mateo, and Nibu. It was 4 of us. We the face of the group.
Yeah.
But I'm not the face. I'm not the one in the front. Literally, I'm from my piano, singing, doing what I got to do, directing the band, whatever, and my name is being mentioned all over the place, but I'm not in front. That's not me.
Okay.
So that was basically.
Okay.
But the album, so the songs I would never perform, and I didn't even feel like playing them with Casabe because it wasn't Casabe style.
Yeah.
So and I'm very delicate with that. We do our music, our style, and even though we could have changed things around, but I didn't feel like doing it.
Okay. All right.
Legacy, big Joe.